Shalom, call hello, Yahweh Shemino, Shabbat, Shemakakwadash, double honor should be of apostles and of bishops, a great millstone, even the elders. They came before them that told us the truth. The Shalom, the salutations, all the brothers up to the word of truth and sincerity, hopeful elect everything with David. The other Yahshawan, back with the World War III daily update. Shalom and salutations to you all. This guy Tucker, I got him, all right? So, I've been saying the same thing for a while about Tucker. Since he left the camp when the elder apostle, right, dealt with him, Tucker was tasked with something specific, right? And he's been working his way. And right now you're saying, well, what has this got to do with the World War III daily update? Well, this is the war, or the spiritual war, at its very height. Tucker's at the top. I'm going to show you what their objective is, all right? Tucker is the point man, right, at what they call, what do they call that guy who goes out and does the shit? He's called a agent provocateur, okay? So, for example, if we were out, right, at a parade or at a protest, we're all out at a protest, right? We're protesting, and Tucker comes in Antifa disguise, right? Acting like he's protesting, but really he's there to break out some windows and start some fires so that they can say that there was a riot, right? And that's what Tucker is doing, right? I finally figured out what Tucker is doing. Now, what I want you to do is understand that I figured this out about 3 or 4 days ago, and I even caught myself saying it at camp the other day. I was trying to break it down what Tucker is doing, and I want you to see that, you know, it's been coming to me slowly, but it all came together. What is he doing with Candace? What is he doing with Netanyahu? What is he doing with TPUSA? What is he doing going heads up, right, with the right? He's leading the charge for the civil war within the right, okay? And he's teamed up. I explained it. Watch, I'm going to explain it. But first, let me play this little snippet. This is yesterday, I think. This is the 8th. One day ago. So this is yesterday. We just play a little bit of what he's saying, because you have to understand that they deployed Tucker. All right, I'm going to show you why they deployed. Tucker is stirring up what? He's stirring up anti-Semitism so that they can blame it on us. He's stirring it up. They're passing laws. They're going to say, he's the culprit, pass the laws. We're going to catch them telling you exactly what they're doing. Listen to a little bit of this. To the camp, you learn the truth, and now you're working your magic. We see. I pray for your safety too. Let me see, Sloppy, bear with me. I want you to listen to this. Okay, so this is me at camp. I'm going to explain, right, what happened when Tucker left the camp and why he's dealing with these specific individuals. Now, it says the 8th. Well, what's today, Monday? It must be, what? Is today the 10th or the 9th? How is that the 8th? I know I did camp on Saturday. So this is wrong. This should be the 7th. Right? I'm going to change it. So this camp is on the 7th. See how it says 2 days ago? Okay, so 2 days from 9, today's the 9th, would be 7. So I put that up wrong. Anyway, this is me at camp. explaining what I'm trying to explain now. Salakia if we're going the long way. Okay, what does Tucker do? Okay. Well, Tucker, here's what happened. When Tucker left the camp, right, they went back and they formulated a plan. Here's the plan. Okay. We're going to get all of these influences, starting with Tucker, Candace, Charlie, Nick Fuentes, what's his name? All the right wingers. What's his name? Benjamin Weirdo at what's his name? At the Daily Mail, whatever. So they get all of these guys. Tucker, first thing they're going to do is they're going to split everybody up. So they had Candace and them have a little fight, right? And then Candace goes this way, so they disperse them all, right? And they're still on the same team, but they all went apart, and now they're going to fight each other to keep you. His name is Ben Shapiro. Okay, Candace worked directly for Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is pushing straight up Israel first all day, all. So how does Candace go from working under Ben Shapiro and doing Lord knows what else to him right there for him? How do you go from that to being suddenly, right, the face, right? They call her the biggest anti-Semite, right? Got to understand that Candace Owens was named by whatever organization, Jonathan Greenblatt or whatever, the NAACP, whatever, or a Jewish organization, that Candace Owens is the biggest anti-Semite. So you got to understand, Candace Owens represents Black America and doesn't at all. But this is what they're doing. I'm explaining that, right? Candace Owens worked for Ben Shapiro, all right? But now, after they kicked her out of the Daily Mail or whatever, they labeled her the biggest anti-Semite ever. Got it? You have to take note of that. I'm distracted, but then there are two teams, Shapiro, Ben Shapiro. So the Ben Shapiro group are all outwardly all Israel, and then the Tuckers and the Candaces, who is connected to Kanye, are the anti-Semitics. So what they did was they took all of those people, including Tucker. Tucker left the camp and comes back with this one. We're going to run the anti-Semitic ball game on. Where we're all on the same team, but we're going to split up into two teams. We'll be the anti-Semitic, me and Candace, right? We'll go out and we'll push every anti-Semitic button that we can. And then while at the same time the Shapiros and them are pushing Israel first, right? And setting up laws to attack anti-Semitism. Tucker, who has the eyes of the world on, is pushing anti-Semitism real hard. They got Candace outing Erica Kirk and the whole TPUSA thing, and it's all anti-Semitic, right? Why? Tucker knows why. Tucker knows who the target is. They're pushing anti-Semitism, and then the Ben Shapiro's in there, they're writing laws and getting laws passed, and then they converge. They go after you to put Candace in jail, or take Candace out, grab her up, you're anti-Semitic, we put you in there, grab up Tucker Carlson, and take them where? Right where Charlie is right now. Boom, stop. Now go here. Where? Up there. Oh, Sloppy, bear with me. Where's it gonna be? Up there. Okay, I'm gonna have to get this. Let's see. Okay, so bear with me while I get this. Where was I? I had that thing. Right? Slovakia. Okay, let me get this. And where was it anyway? See? Slovakia. cued. So, let's see what it is. Check that out. Okay, so anonymous official. Where's that? History. Where's anonymous official? Watch history. What in the hell are we doing? Let's see. Bear with me. This is supposed to be queued, but I'm sure they're doing whatever they keep. Okay. Right here. Now listen to what this conversation.
There's 16.
We'll go over it a couple of times, but and what I'm gonna do, see, because all of this is new, I'm gonna get all of the material together, I'm gonna splice it together in order.
Incitement of violence, very specific term. So what does that mean? It means that they want to be able to have an FBI agent come and knock on your door to ask you either to...
Look at Tucker. Now listen to the specific conversation they're about to have and why. And they're blaming it on Tucker. Now listen. Why is this? And where did this come from? Right? This is about Tucker. I just saw
These forces are labeling people with the... It doesn't seem accidental. I don't really think it's not fair if you're an anti-Semite or not. I mean, Israel's very close to the Zelensky government, which supports actual...
Listen to it. What they're saying. We'll go over it a couple of times.
Officially, but Australia, New Zealand, Canada, every country in Europe, you're not allowed to have certain attitudes. You can go to jail. Like your opinions are crimes. They are literally thought crimes. And I just noticed, because I've been at the center of it, this effort over the past year to criminalize attitudes. And
you hear that? I've been at the center of it. Yeah, you have. To criminalize. You hear that admission? I didn't know that was in there. Okay. I heard what's coming up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I was so right. Listen to the smoking gun. This is smoking gun. Listen.
I was first called an anti-Semite. I remember thinking, well, I'm actually not, and so I don't know why you're calling me that. And I was annoyed or whatever. But the insistence with which these forces are labeling people with the slander anti-Semite, it doesn't seem accidental. I don't really think it's not fair if you're an anti-Semite or not. I mean, Israel's very close to the Zelensky government, which supports actual Nazis. So, like, they don't care if you're an anti-Semite. This is an effort to set the stage for prosecutions. That's what
and you're at the head of it. You're going balls forward anti-Semite. You and Candace. How are you getting away with it? Without getting grabbed up like they did Charlie. We went over this, okay? How do you have platforms and you going balls out? They didn't grab you because they're passing laws right now.
And to think, do you think that's too paranoid? No, not at all. Well, first of all, we literally deported people for being critical of Israel. That actually happened already under this government. We are having the Department of Justice, the Attorney General, get involved in campus incidents around so-called anti-Semitism. That is the machine and the groundwork, which could be laid for exactly what you're talking about. But then let's look. We recognize this. If you lived through the woke revolution, let's think about the way that this works now with so-called anti-Semitism, as they accuse you. It's all about escalation. So first, you're being defined as an anti-Semite. In one of your recent comments, what did they say? That you're trying to incite violence against a specific organization.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I'm not making this up. Why is Tucker having this conversation? Why is Tucker fighting when we know they're on the same side? When we know they're looking for the same outcome, which is to stop us. That's why Tucker went to the camp. Why are they talking about this stuff? Because they're passing laws. They're telling you right now, they're passing laws. They're coming after you. Coming after you, Tucker. They're going to put Tucker where they put Charlie here. Put the blood bag away. You guys are good. Go to the underground bunker. Catch your niggas now.
Incitement of violence is actually a very specific term. So what does that mean? An imminent threat, which means that they want to be able to have an FBI agent come and knock on your door to ask you either to clarify what you're asking about or potentially prosecute you. or your alleged comments that are around this. Each one is a step in a ground to make sure to lay the groundwork to make it so that such a case could eventually be brought and in the same time. And when we have, look, we're at the very beginnings of this conflict. Who knows how long it goes? I pray it just ends. But
see what's going on? Let's get a couple of precepts. I've been saying this, exactly this, and now they're showing it to me verbatim. Okay? I'm going to put it all together succinctly, okay? Because I'm probably, I don't have the corners rounded up. This is all brand new for me. So, 2 Corinthians 2:11. Let's get Satan, and then we'll get offender for a word. Because this is what it is. I've been doing exactly the same. The Smokin and call aware of the schemes. Let's get it real quick here. But Satan should take an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And this is a big device that they've been working on since Tucker left the camp. Okay? Listen again to what they're talking about. They're talking about the criminalization of offender for a word. Let's get offender. The word is anti-Semitic. The snare, right, is Tucker. Tucker left the camp and set a snare. And lay a snare. What is that? Okay. Let's read that right there. Isaiah 29:21 in the English Standard. Who by a word, the word is anti-Semitism, make a man out to be an offender and lay a snare. What is the snare? What Tucker's doing right now. Yeah, anti-Semitic, and saying it at the very top of his lungs so that they can attack him, throw him in jail, and shoot him in the neck. And not really. But this is, see, all the way back through Charlie. Right? And fair use. All the way back through Charlie. That was part of Tucker's plan. All the way back through DJ T getting shot in the ear. That was part of Tucker's plan. Everything is part of Tucker's plan. What Netanyahu is doing right now is part of Tucker's plan. It's all intertwined, okay? So that they can, what Tucker is trying to do, right? He's trying to set up us going to jail. That's what it says right here, right? And at the same time, he's setting up PCR testing. What is it? Blood testing, if you will, right? That's phony, so that they can go ahead and say that they actually are those people. That's what Tucker has set up. What is he doing right now? He's acting like the biggest anti-Semite that he can. Him and Candace, who have been dispatched to do this. I've been saying this now, and now he's saying it, okay? He's telling you exactly what he's doing, right? And they're all in on it together. Tucker's playing the antagonist role.
Yesterday.
All right? Tucker's playing the bad guy. They're all the bad guy, but Tucker's acting like he's good. Oh, we're against each other. No, you're all working on the same project. Okay? Understand this, okay?
about that,
Understand this. The Rothschilds do what? They fund both sides. The Rothschilds fund both sides. That's what you're watching. You're watching the Rothschilds say, take this money. Bibi said, here's this money over here. Here's some money for you influencers. So all of this is the same thing here. Candace, here's some money. Here's some money, Nick. We all know about the money. What's the plan? I'm telling you the plan. The plan is fight back and forth, right? Keep them entertained. Fight back and backbite each other real hard. Keep flip-flopping and tell some truths out there, Candace, and make sure you're being completely what they're going to call anti-Semitic. Keep saying Hitler, keep saying Holocaust, that shit she said the other day. Woo! Where was that? Who brought that out? Did I bring that out? Somebody brought out what Candace was saying, and it was on Jimmy Dore, and it was just she was on fire with it, right? And they're just letting her go up. Here's Morgan, just shut up, letting her go. Listen to Tucker tell you the plan. This is the plan. Okay? So lucky, let me find it.
I say, hey, why did you say this? What did you mean by that? And that very level of harassment is chilling. Not to mention an institutional level. Who knows? I mean, will the government fine people? Look at the situation with Anthropic and Claude, right? I mean, you have this showdown between the Pentagon and Anthropic over the use of AI, their technology, in a time of war to make.
What are we talking about? Surveillance. They're talking about C-hips and all of that. Understand? Let's see. ID. They're talking about the small hat. They're talking about anti-shim. Why? Why is Tucker suddenly the lead on all of this?
Just as much of a threat to your individual liberty as the government power.
I mean, this is the last English-speaking country, probably the last country in the world in which attitudes have not yet been criminalized, at least officially. But Australia, New Zealand.
Tucker's part of all of it, criminalized. He's at the top of it. And he's acting like he's against. Okay? Tucker's a globalist. He's one of them. Acting like he's a nobody. Sorry, buddy. All right? You know what you're up to. You came down to the camp to get the skinny. And now this is the plan.
Every country in Europe, you're not allowed to have certain attitudes. You can go to jail. Like your opinions are a crime.
Here's what's coming. Opinion crime, thought crime, pre-crime. This is what they're telling you. Palantir and all of these devices that come along with shaping them, and then they go into the whole digital grid. Listen.
They're literally thought crimes. And I just noticed, because I've been at the center of it, this effort over the past year to criminalize attitudes. And when I was first called an anti-Semite, I remember thinking, well, I'm actually not. And so I don't know why you're calling me that. And I was annoyed or whatever. But the insistence with which these forces are labeling people with the slander anti-Semite, it doesn't seem accidental. I don't really think it's not fair if you're an anti-Semite or not. I mean, Israel's very close to the Zelensky government, which supports actual Nazis. So, like, they don't care if you're an anti-Semite. This is an effort to set the stage for prosecutions. That
Tucker has nothing to do with and has no clue who the real target is. He didn't go down to the camp and make sure that we're saying what we're saying. I have no clue. Listen to it and tell you what they're doing.
Starting to think, do you think that's too paranoid?
No, not at all. Well, first of all, we literally deported people for being critical of Israel. That actually happened already under this government. We are having the Department of Justice, the Attorney General, get involved in campus incidents around so-called anti-Semitism. That is the machine and the groundwork which could be laid for exactly what you're talking about. But then let's look. We recognize this. If you lived through the woke revolution, let's think about the way that this works now with so-called anti-Semitism, as they accuse you. It's all about escalation. So first, you're being defined as an anti-Semite. In one of your recent comments, what did they say? That you're trying to incite violence against a specific organization. Incitement of violence is actually a very specific term. So what does that mean? An imminent threat, which means that they want to be able to have an FBI agent come and knock on your door to ask you either to clarify what you're asking about or potentially prosecute you for your alleged comments that are around this. Each one is a step in a ground to make sure and to lay the groundwork to make it so that such a case could eventually be brought and in an insane time. And when we have, look, we're at the very beginnings of this conflict. Who knows how long it goes? I pray it just ends. But again, all through history, it only usually gets worse whenever.
Here's how worse it gets right here. Because this works. Okay. On the day it started, what did they do? They did this. What's this guy? This guy. What's this? Well, they got What's this nigga? Oh, I forgot. Stuck his head in there. Smokin. So, call her Allah شنو ما شاء الله. See, many shall run to and fro. That's the internet. Okay, so, let me picture this guy. So this is it. This is the plan. Okay? They're coming after us, clearly. Who doesn't see that? Right? They're coming after us. They got us saying abad babal. And I mean the English version. They got us all saying it when we were just coming in. They're going to use that. They're going to splice it in with some. This is how they're going to come and try to grab us up, right? And Tucker is leading the charge, right? This is where it's going, all right? They're making it simple. They're coming straight after who? Let's go back and examine who they're coming after. So, lay a snare for who? With false testimony, deprive the who's the innocent? The innocent, right? Who is him who reproves in the gate? Who's that? That's the right. That's the defender in court, or the mediator in the gate. Who is that? Reproving, shaking the hand and exhorting with all long suffering. Who's that? The arbitrator, the adjudicator. All right? These are the prophets, the teachers out there. So they're coming after us. They're using this guy's picture. Where is it? This guy. So, they're doing. Hey, this guy right here is not mad that they shot the Ayatollah. They got to do better than that. This tells you they're projecting who they're coming after. Okay, you Negroes, they're coming after you Negroes. Coming after me? Come on. All right, I've done nothing. Fair use. I'm not getting paid. I'm just teaching. Right, I'm fighting a spiritual battle. Do what the hell you got to do. All right, let's get it cracking. Tired of waiting. All right. Anyway, the point is that with Tucker, right, saying that, right, this conversation. Why is Tucker? Just like here's a question: how does Bill Gates get to regulate food, vaccines? Who is this guy, and how does he get to be the spokesperson? Who rose Tucker? They were talking to Tucker on the street, but who rose him up? So now that he gets to, and who rose up Candace to speak on behalf of all black people when she's not even black? That's a tear, or Eve at her worst, worse than Oprah Winfrey, working for the devil, still. So if you can't see what's going on, right, I'll connect all the dots and make it real simple for the simple. Okay, I promise. But I mean, what is the conversation about? About locking you up for saying what we've been saying the whole time.
Comes to censorship and demands. I mean, already this entire conversation, you and I know, will be branded as anti-Semitic and pro-Iran. These are me.
And pro-Iran. This is pro-Iran. What did he have under the hoodie? He had an Iranian flag. What did he have in the car? He had a Quran. We don't read fucking Quran. It's a setup. Why did they get somebody that looked the part? This nigga had 20 prayer rugs lined up all the way out to the parking lot. See? They're just coming after us. And it's all good. Scripture tells you. And lay a snare for who? Him that reproveth in the gate. That's not Allah. Allah and them ain't out reproving in the gate. The Hebrew Israelites are from Great Millstone. Okay? From the Great Millstone camp. And then there's some charlatans out there, right? But they ain't, doing no terrorist acts. This is Esau. We know what you're up to. All right? Your trap is not gonna work. Smokin. Anyway. It's just a device, okay? What's it amplified? To keep Satan from taking advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his evil. Let's find that word, see? This thing is evil. Anyway, with that, we pray that the electorate have fun. So, this is what, and call all y'all about Shamil Shai. The Spirit has been guiding me, and he got me on Tucker punk ass. So now he just told on himself, and I mean, I'm sure all you gotta do is listen to this, and he'll tell you the whole story.
Right, but they will be pumped as propaganda into an entire ecosystem to smear and to define us both as individuals. From there, if you're pro-Iran,
from there they're coming straight after us. Right after they take them down and say it's open season on anti-Semitism, they're coming straight to us. And then Tucker pop up in the underground bunker, him and Charlie Kirk slap five, and they think that they've succeeded.
We're at war with Iran. Wow, then you're a traitor. So now the traitor moniker is going to begin to be applied. And then from there, we'll start talking about treason, right? So very recently, I'll give you a great example. During the outbreak of Russia...
Would they get Yahushua and treason?
Of Ukraine, we had an incident, I think it was with YouTube, where they banned all Russian state media. And I would make a case to them behind the scenes. I said, guys, I'm not pro-Russian, but if we're in the middle... as a state media, but they put out things from Vladimir Putin. Should I not be allowed to play things from Vladimir Putin? We never really had any answer for that.
Why is Tucker in that position talking about who is and who's not? As he fans the flames of anti-Semitism, why is he holding this conversation when he came straight from the camp, shaking hands with the elder apostle? What about that? Okay. So anyway, Lord willing, I'll make a very short version of this that takes about 5 to 6 minutes, Lord willing. With that, we pray that the electorate of the brother Jesus shall.